So only the Super Bowl left to be played. We're about to conclude the 2024 NFL season and begin the 2025 NFL season. And with that, we're going to start to get a lot of draft murmurs and a lot of draft rumors from this point until the draft actually takes place. And Shador is really going to be in the spotlight for the next 2-3 months. I'm sure there's going to be just a ton of different stories and a ton of smoke screens. There's always a ton of smoke screens when it comes to GMs trying to bluff other GMs and whatnot. So should be very entertaining yet again. The Giants GM Joe was recently asked what he will do with the number 3 overall pick, and he said, quote, "We're going to be open to anything. We're in a good position sitting at 3 with the players that are available. By process of elimination, we know we're going to get a good player. Regardless of what happens the next couple of months, we know there's going to be a really good player there." I would definitely disagree on that. Daniel Jones was a top 10 draft pick back when he was drafted. So I feel like just because you have a high draft pick, it does not equate to automatically getting a great NFL player. So automatically, I don't really agree with Joe at all there. I'm sorry. I know I've mentioned this like a ton of times in previous vids of mine, but the fact that this guy still has a job is just asinine to me. This dude should have been fired with Brian Dable, and I feel like he's going to screw this draft up. I don't know what he's going to do, but that's just me. Let me know if you agree with me. And does anybody still believe in this guy and in this coaching staff and this franchise? Let me know. So during Shador's final game, he wore New York Giants cleats, and there have been many reports so far that the Giants are heavily linked to Shador and that they have been impressed with him. I do think that if Shador is there at number 3, they will definitely take him. Anything that Joe says in the future that isn't pro Shador Sanders is absolutely baloney to me. So just keep an eye on that. They obviously need a quarterback. As of right now, Tommy DeVito is their only quarterback on the Giants roster. Drew Lock and Tim Boyle are set to become free agents. And Joe had this to say about Shador Sanders. He's a great kid. A really good personality, football smart. His dad is a football coach. It's a little bit cliche, but he checks all the boxes of a player with a dad that is a football coach and the passion that he approaches the game with. It was good getting to meet him. He's had a really good career at Colorado, and obviously I'm looking forward to getting to know all these guys in the rest of the process. So the 2 teams ahead of the Giants are the Tennessee Titans and the Cleveland Browns. Both teams need quarterbacks. So I don't know if Joe is going to have to move up. He might have to, because I feel like 100% the Titans will take a quarterback. Will that be Shador? Will that be Cam Ward? At this point, I'm not sure. As of today, at the end of January in 2025, from all the reports I've read and all the tape I've seen, I definitely have Cam Ward over Shador Sanders, but a lot can change in a few months, so we'll have to see. The real wild card is Cleveland. They do need a quarterback, but they have such a long way to go. For them to draft Shador Sanders, I really don't like that move for both parties. I don't think Shador has the talent to really resurrect that franchise. I think he could potentially be a good player. It's just kind of a lot to ask him to go in there with Deshaun Watson still lurking the hallways of the Browns facilities. There's just it's just a big mess in Cleveland right now, and you need kind of a generational player to step in there as the quarterback to really clean it up. And I don't think Shador Sanders is a generational player. But hypothetically, if the Browns were to draft him, I believe in Stefanski. I believe he would put Shador in proper positions. It's just a tough ask. It's a tough ask. And I just think that the Browns have other holes on their rosters that they should probably address, or maybe I feel like they're definitely in a prime position to move down. And that's the thing. The Giants GM Joe, he obviously isn't the brightest guy in the world. We all watched offseason Hard Knocks, or we've all seen the clips of the offseason Hard Knocks. The guy just isn't a competent individual. And I really think the Browns can maybe throw enough smokescreens out there to finesse Joe and to make him move up one spot. We saw it before, a long time ago in the 2017 draft, when the Bears had the 3rd overall pick and the Niners had the 2nd overall pick. The Niners had no intention of drafting Mitch Trubisky, but I guess the Bears thought they were going to. So they got really desperate. They moved up one spot, gave up a lot of assets, and drafted Mitch Trubisky. And we all know how that turned out. So I feel like a similar thing could happen in this upcoming draft, and I'd love to see it. I don't like this Joe guy at all, if you can't tell. But yeah, man, if the Giants do go with Shedeur Sanders, it's kind of a similar situation with the Browns. The Giants are a complete mess right now. Yes, they have some serious weapons there, of course, but I just think it's a lot to ask for Shedeur to step in and to really be the savior of that franchise. Plus, the media in New York is pretty ruthless from time to time, and I know he's kind of primed to step in the spotlight. He's Deion's kid, all the attention he got on Colorado. So I guess from that perspective, it would make it a good fit to a certain extent, but I just don't know if he's that caliber of a player to really save a franchise. I really hope he falls in this draft and lands with a team that is at least somewhat average or above average. Like, imagine if Shedeur somehow lands with Sean McVay. That would be crazy. That would be a lot of fun. And that'd be really entertaining, man. You know, Shedeur in LA, Shedeur with Sean McVay and Puka. I could see that working. I could see that working really, really well. Just because Sean McVay is one of the best coaches in the NFL. And it's not a terrible roster. It's not a basement roster like the Browns or the Giants. That would probably be my dream scenario for Shedeur. Or even a team like the Dolphins. I don't think they would do that just because McDaniel seems really invested in Tua emotionally. But hypothetically, if Shedeur fell to the Dolphins, I feel like it would kind of be a no-brainer to do that. You let me know what your dream spot for Shedeur Sanders is. Is it the Browns? Is it the Titans? The Rams? Or some other team? Let me know in the comments below. And who do you think the Giants will go with in the first round of the 2025 draft? I really think it's going to be Shedeur. They already showed their hand, in my opinion. And just don't expect anybody else, man. They already showed their hand. It's going to happen if he's available. So if you made this far, please subscribe and like the vid. It'd help out your boy a ton. That's all I got for right now. Peace.
You got to trust that arm and throw the football past the first down marker. There were guys open, but no, he takes the safe route, throws it short. Defense makes the tackle, and here we are staring at a 4th down.
They're going to the hurry-up offense, and they're back to the line quickly.
Let's go.
The Cowboys defense now is going to go nickel. Throws the pass.
That's what you expect in the NFL nowadays from the players, especially these receivers. They're so aggressive, so athletic. They go all out for every catch. That time, he just lets it all go. Not able to make the catch, but I'll give him an A for effort.
2nd down and 10. And it's incomplete. Just couldn't hold on to it after the hit.
3rd long situations, a lot of coordinators in this league will run a draw play on 3rd long. Why? Because they're just looking for field position, pick up a few yards, and then by some miracle, if the running back's able to make guys miss, break some tackles, and pick up a 1st down, man, that's just great. That time, Jim, the timing is perfect. It knocks the ball free. And look, in the NFL, defensive backs, They got to be perfect. Otherwise, that flag is coming out. That hit is so well timed that there's no penalty, and it knocks the football away.
The kick, and it's through there. The kick is good.